the possessed Superman then exploded or whatever he is, and then Superman New 52 is like, I'm dying. Actually, I'm dead. Right?
Yeah.
Batman's like, hey, what are you doing, other Superman? And other Superman's like, nah, I got a beard. Latest.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Okay. And then they jumped into Superman Reborn.
There's a reincarnated dead baby Carl Charles and
the monster that became less of a threat when he became more intelligent, C.Y. Chung.
And today we're going to speaking about, because remember we did the episode on the man who broke the bat, Bane. So we thought, hey, let's do an episode on the man who killed the Superman, Doomsday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And straight up, right? Even though these two characters are designed to do specific things at a specific point in time, Doomsday is a snagged-in character. That's as much as I can say.
Yeah.
Do you dislike Doomsday, or what's your Okay, why do we think Bane as a character is better? I think we're getting that's what we're trying to get to.
Why do I think Bane as a character is better? Because Bane actually can have a character, like personality and backstory and whatnot. Bane can actually have that. Doomsday, not quite.
Well, the thing is, I guess with Bane, you can have him fight other people. You can have him fight Batman. You can have him fight whoever, right?
Yeah.
He's not abnormally strong to the point where people can't take him. Yeah. Or invincible, however you want to put it. Doomsday is only known for one thing, and once you've done that thing, where else can you go?
Yeah. That's literally it. He's like, oh, you killed Superman. Then what do we do next? Kill Superman again. Yeah.
Well, you can't kill Superman again. No. You can never. Okay, of the original Doomsday trilogy, that's what they actually called it, right? Death of Superman, Superman, Doomsday, Hunter Prey, and I think the last one was Doomsday Wars.
Okay.
You haven't read Doomsday Wars yet?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, quite obviously you read the other two.
Yeah.
The Doomsday Wars is actually. I know we'll probably have to go through at some point just so you can cap up the original Doomsday trilogy.
Okay.
But this is where Brainiac takes over Doomsday's body.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually, first of all, what did you think of the Death of Superman story?
I liked it. It was creative. Bit of a jaw dropper if you're reading it for the first time in 1993. Reading it years after, because I don't think I read it when he actually died. Like I don't think I read it when it first came out. I think I read it a couple of years later. Yeah. Or by the time I read it, I already saw like, hey, they bring Superman back. So, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I also read it when it was already a graphic novel, so I missed the actual first print edition, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
But even then, you don't expect Superman to be dead.
Well, I thought they may. I don't know. This is before I was jaded by comics and stuff. But...
Yeah, and merchandise and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Before you start to get to that level, where you're like, actually, they won't kill him because they make money out of him. So Yeah. Well, I enjoyed that at the time, and when you look at it now, it's just a full-on. How many issues is it? 8 issues of just fighting. Yeah. And the fact that they didn't have to give any story to Doomsday, he just beat up a lot of people,
and that was it.
yeah. Didn't need anything else really.
No.
He was a means to an end, right? And an effective end at that, right?
Yeah.
Because he did exactly what he was created to do, and I don't want to say, there's anomalies when you look back there. The initial version of the character and look at him now and go, hold on a minute, yeah. Obviously, because they haven't thought of a backstory or whatever, stuff that is happening during his first appearance doesn't mesh up 100% all the time.
Yeah.
But as for what it is, no problems with it, right?
No.
Obviously, the Justice League looked like a bunch of jabronis, but then again, Batman wasn't on that team, and Wonder Woman was not on that team.
But even if Batman was, would it make a difference?
No. Well, I don't want to say how much of a difference it would make, but he would have organized the troops. Let me put it that way.
I don't know, because I don't know if I'm jumping.
Well, but also they had Martian Manhunter who was pretending to be Bloodwind, and Martian Manhunter was powerful until he's not powerful.
Yeah, for story reasons. But
Martian Manhunter, even though he's as potent as Superman, is like the jobber. It is like, you know, when they beat up Wolverine just to show they're a threat. That's what happened to Martian Manhunter all the time in the Justice League stories.
Because I was thinking, because they kind of redo this. I might be jumping the gun a bit. An animated movie of Death of Superman.
Yeah. Well, which version?
The better one, not Superman Doomsday. Actually,
okay,
Death of Superman. And Batman's on the team then, and that made no difference whatsoever.
Oh yeah, I know, 100%. Batman was even on the helping them. Well, Batman wasn't even doing anything in Justice. Dawn of Justice. So.
Yeah, so
except for like one time where he shot the kryptonite grenade, but to spend the rest of the time just like,
running.
I don't know what.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like a wuss.
So, but okay, no. I don't think it would have done much, but the fact that your high tier people are not on the team, and that's the team that lost, you know.
Yeah,
I'm sure they would have come up with something for Wonder Woman and Batman to do. If they were on the team, but then it might have been a bit overkill if you have a Gargan's not Green Lantern at that point, but he's still got the yellow power ring. Yeah, you got Martian Manhunter, you got Wonder Woman, even though I had Maxima instead.
Yeah,
and for some reason she just loved to fight a bit too much.
Yeah, it was a bit of a. She was a weird character, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that I think the Justice League in the Death of Superman storyline. They could afford to be jobbers.
Yeah, they could. Yeah.
Even the Death of Superman animated movie, they were less jobbers, but they knew their role in the story.
Yeah,
they had to lose. They had no, at that point they had no. They couldn't escape their destiny.
No. Because if they did, destiny would find them. I don't know. I'm just chatting out about them.
Exactly. Destiny would look for them.
Yeah.
So Superman Doomsday, Hunter Prey. What did you think of that?
It started off good, and then I kind of stopped caring about it. I don't know why.
Well, first of all, Doomsday basically got beat to death. So did Superman, to be fair, right?
Yeah.
But that's how he initially died. Yep.
Yeah.
The second time they show his background, where I think the guy called the Radiant shot, like blasted him with whatever, right? And that's what sent him under the earth for like several millennia. It's like, wow, how did that force him to hibernate for so long, considering how often he regenerates and how quickly nowadays? But hey, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So Superman had to wear super 90s style straps and whatnot, right? Like he's one of the X-Men. Like he's drawn by Rob Liefeld. Got his arm broke, and then sent Doomsday to the Big Bang. Which I was like, okay, that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, you have to escalate, right?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
I think they sent to the Big Bang a bit too quickly. That should have probably been one of your more final later kills, because that's just like, right, beat him to death, and then we'll send him into the entropy. Yeah,
sure. That makes sense.
Even though Doomsday also beat up Darkseid, Darkseid just basically standing there trying to do eye beams, right?
Yeah.
While Doomsday's right next to him. Like, no, punch him or something. Why is he stomping around behind you, coming towards you, and you still haven't turned around yet enough? Even though you're hearing it, because he starts to turn, and then he slices up your back with his bone knuckles. Like, no.
Yeah, didn't make much sense, if I'm honest. It still doesn't.
Yeah.
And Darkseid, I've always personally thought Darkseid is stronger than Doomsday, but then this kind of proved me wrong, I guess.
Would you say base Darkseid? Okay, I would say Darkseid probably more powerful, because he's got different types of stuff to use. Whereas probably, Doomsday I could accept being stronger. However, I don't like to accept that Darkseid's a top tier jobber.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To someone who in 2 years' time is like, we can't do anything with this guy. Just throw him in the background for a while.
Exactly. At least with Darkseid, you can do something.
Yeah.
In Darkseid, so petty.
Yep. He's always a threat.
Darkseid's so petty that when Galactus came in the Silver Surfer Superman crossover, no, was it Super? Yeah, I think was it Silver Surfer Superman or was it Fantastic Four? No, I think it was Silver Surfer one. And like Galactus was going to come to eat the Apocalypse. Yeah. And Darkseid's like, all right, well, I'm going to get all my minions and everything to fight you to the death. Even though you kill us and you absorb our planet, I don't care, right?
Yeah.
I take you down with me or as much as I can, whatever, right? Galactus beats them all up. He puts his device down to suck the life energy out of Apocalypse. And then he's like, there's no sustenance here. This planet is dead. This planet has nothing for me, and I'm starving. And Darkseid's like, yeah, exactly. That's how petty I am. I'll defend the planet. That is nothing for anyone, right? I could have just told you and turned you away. No, I still make you fight for it, and I'll fight you back for it. Like, what? Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst.
Yeah. Way to tell him, Darkseid. He killed, so much of your planet, but whatever.
Whatever. Yeah. Sure. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't like how Darkseid's only a threat when they decide that he wants to be a threat, and I like that they've redone Darkseid in the DC Rebirth to give him some more oomph. The problem is, I find now with Darkseid is that he's like 10 foot tall.
I like, yeah.
I don't mind him being a certain size, right? But Superman's meant to be 6'4" ish. So even if you're saying Dark, okay, you know how tall is it almost?
4'4", I think.
Yeah. And there was that time he was wrestling Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley stood on top of Bobby Lashley being 6'1"ish, 6'3". Yeah. Bobby Lashley had to stand on top of the turnbuckle, and he was just barely taller than Omos or something like that, right? Well, no, he looked appropriate size to fight Omos. But that's what, like, the height difference when you look at it, like that. It's just, you're like, okay, so Superman, when you're punching Doomsday or Darkseid, because sometimes Doomsday is drawn like a massive monster.
Yeah.
How are you going to reach him?
With speed, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, maybe we'll do something else on Darkseid a bit later on.
Yeah.
But yes, so capping off that trilogy, the Doomsday Wars, where just like in Superman the Death of Superman animated movie, Superman needs to be removed in the equation a little bit. And in the animated movie, he's telling Lois about his identity while all the Justice League are getting beat up. Here, Lana Lang's son is being born prematurely, and Superman has to take the baby to Star Labs, while the rest of the Justice League are like, yeah, Doomsday's beating us all up. Clark, you need to help us.
Yeah.
Doomsday's now got a brain. Turns out, Brainiac jumped into Doomsday's body. It took him out of the entropy, by the way.
Okay.
Then took his body, possessed him, and then as Clark is flying toward with the baby in the backpack or whatever it is, the Star Labs created whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
To keep him alive. Doomsday punched him out of the sky. It's like, wow, Doomsday, you're gonna kill a baby. Wow, heartlessness. But they gotta do them heel tactics, right?
Yeah.
And then they have a fight, and Superman's like, I'm trying to protect the kid, and Doomsday's like, nah, bro, I don't care.
What's his kid? Yeah.
Wait. And then as Doomsday is actually kicking Brainiac out of possession, Brainiac's like, well, I'm going to try to survive by possessing the kid.
Wow, Brainiac's a bit of a douche, isn't he?
Yeah, and then Brainiac also has to, but then he jumps into a robot body because he can't get there in time. And then the rest of the league are fighting Doomsday and with Superman, and Superman's like, oh yeah, let me come up with I got a solution. Come. I mean, you guys fight him, and I think they said even for a minute it's gonna be too long for these guys, right? Yeah. So it's like way to look down upon the rest of the team that actually has Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter in it, and Aquaman probably as well, but and the Flash and Green Lantern, whatever, right? Oh, Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern, but still. Yeah, so Superman then gets the Justice League teleporters, and he puts them on the moon, puts 4 of them, tricks Doomsday into a 5th one, I believe, and then he just kind of rotating teleportation for Doomsday. So he can only ever be 25% complete in each teleportation pod.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and they're like, pat on the back, Superman, well done, well done. And I was like, yeah, that's actually quite intelligent.
Yeah.
I would have thought that was a Batman style plan, but you know.
Was Batman's? No, I was about to say Batman was alive during this point, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was back as Batman.
Yeah. So, like, what do you think of that as a solution? I know I spoiled the most of the story for you. Yeah.
That's right.
But as a solution to defeat Doomsday, what do you think about it? Quite creative, right? The
Quite
writers.
creative, yeah. It kind of reminds me of in the animated Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s, when how they sort of got rid of Red Skull.
Yeah.
Him and Captain America got thrown in some like pocket dimension where they was constantly fighting for like 40 years. I thought that's kind of a cool way to sort of get rid of a Nazi.
Well, they did it the best in the Captain America movie, right? They just never looked back.
Yeah. He just went the Tesseract and then he just appeared like, hey, you know.
Yeah.
I got driven mad because I came here, but you know, I can float now. It's like
yeah,
a good trade-off, I guess. Sure. But yeah,
so
that's a good way to get rid of Doomsday.
Yeah. I think the next appearance of Doomsday was Our World's at War. Did you ever read that?
No.
Okay.
Is that
well?
I know one of them. There's some crossover where Doomsday kills John Henry Irons, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what. So they have. Okay. Yeah. The thing is, right? They break Doomsday out of something. I think of the teleportation pods as well. Yeah. And he goes and kills John Henry Irons in the process.
Yeah.
And then he gets murdered by Imperiex.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. And actually, what's fun in this crossover is where Mongol Jr. teaches Superman how to fight by using his powers at the same time. So where he's training Mongol is training Superman how to use his own powers. And there's a bit where there's a page where Superman's using heat vision, ice breath, and punching Mongol at the same time. Okay. Like, oh yeah, because he always uses powers separately. Yeah. Why don't you just you can spam.
Was Mongol Jr. like a good guy or something?
No, he just needed if I'm gonna remember correctly, but he just needed to get them to help him so he could double cross them. Because
okay, that sounds about right.
That's how it is when you're evil.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Wow.
Yeah, so Imperiex murders Doomsday pretty quickly, like just blasts him. That's it. And I'm like, wait, hold on. If Doomsday can be killed like that, then why didn't Imperiex murder Superman and all the other people like that before?
Because I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way.
Reduced him, by the way, to a glowing skeleton. So that's like Wolverine levels of healing factor because Doomsday came back. But yeah, what are you gonna say? How are you gonna help protect the story?
Because they realize, you know what, we're not gonna use Doomsday for a while, so just put him off the table for a bit.
Yeah. Unless of course they were deliberately going to where they were going to next, which was. I think obviously Superman got an ambush by Doomsday, and then Doomsday got smart. Doomsday's fighting Superman. He's using tactics, and Superman's like, "What? What? This doesn't seem right," you know.
And then he was a mindless beast.
Yeah. And then Doomsday's like, "Ha! I have a brain. Right?" And then Superman's like, "Well. This is the problem now, Doomsday. you understand what fear is, yeah? You don't want to die again, do you? Imperius just murdered you into a skeleton. You understand? And then then Doomsday starts quivering like a wreck. It's like, oh no, please don't hurt me. Like, what? I know, I'm super exaggerating, by the way. That's not the actual case.
So this is kind of like, because they say like Doomsday, each time he dies, he comes back like stronger with a new ability or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing this is one of them. One of the abilities was he came back with a brain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I like. This makes sense as far as regenerating better than before.
Yeah.
This makes sense. However, also the drawback makes a lot of sense as well.
Yeah.
So then he just like, because he can't just be a wild animal, and he's afraid of pain and being killed. He just Superman makes a mockery of him. I'm like, actually. Yeah, this makes too much sense.
Yeah.
And then Doomsday had to evolve to be an idiot again after that.
But that kind of reminds you of like I think Marvel stole from that then, because isn't Drax sort of the same thing?
I don't know exactly about the background of Drax.
I know.
So initially he was really stupid.
I think when they made him smart, I wouldn't say smart, but like, thinkable. That's not even a word, but in leading up to like Annihilation, all that, it was like, I think if I remember correctly, it might have been framing like, yeah, every time I die, I come back.
Yeah,
It's like a different ability, and this time I'm smart. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever read Batman? It was the Batman Superman, and it was when that version of Kara Zor-El came to Earth. Or did you watch the movie?
I watched the movie, then I read the book, then I watched the movie.
Yeah. Which was actually, as far as a 1-to-1 replication, it was actually pretty close.
Yeah,
and this is where. Sorry, gone.
It was. I was
gonna say, this is where Darkseid decided to clone a bunch of Doomsdays to attack Amazon Island. I'm like, all right, well, one Doomsday is super potent, right? If you're going to tell me there's multiple Doomsdays, how are the Amazons going to survive? I mean, as powerful as they are, right? Sense. But it turns out, obviously, these are Doomsday clones, so they're not exactly the power level of the one singular proper Doomsday.
Yeah.
Because they get whooped, and Batman's being able to do stuff. Like, okay, is the threat of the Doomsdays more powerful than the actual power of them Doomsdays? Because Superman was just using his heat vision and he cut more than half.
Yeah, it's watered down Doomsdays, isn't it?
Yeah.
The more you clone, the stronger they are.
Which, as far as cloning goes, though, I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because story-wise, the Amazons have to be able to do stuff.
Yeah.
Batman being able to do stuff is different.
Yeah.
Right.
We got right for for Batman, yeah.
Yeah. But to be fair, as you're saying, Spider-Man probably could take one of these clone Doomsdays as well.
Even I can.
Yeah. And by the way, jump in when you if you remember anything about Doomsday. I'm just trying to go through the stuff I remember. What happened next? What happened next as far as Doomsday? Oh damn! As soon as I say jump in, I can't remember. All I remember is that when did the Infinite Crisis happen before this? There was
like a second in Infinite Crisis,
Yeah. But there was something that happened after Infinite Crisis, which I remember. It was the New Krypton. Do you remember the New Krypton saga? Did you read that?
Yeah. And was it the 100-minute war? It was, yeah.
The 100-minute war.
I think that's like the end of it, right?
Is it the 100-minute war? You know what? I'm mixing up the 1-minute war from Flash. You know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Kryptonians. Was it the bottle suit of Condor?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and they're like, well, you know what? We could just take over Earth, except that we ain't gonna be like that. We want to make a planet opposite Earth, so then we can survive without all, running, you guys trying to hurt us and blah blah blah, right? Even though we'll be supermen on this planet, yeah. And then I believe it was Lex, so I don't know the 100%. I can't remember. Decides, you know what? I'm just gonna send Doomsday to kill all these Kryptonians.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And then little does Doomsday know, he gets thrown to the moon by the whole bunch of them, right? And we're talking about masses of hundreds of Kryptonians here.
Yeah.
And then just beat him to death on the moon.
Which
I'm like, I think it makes sense. He, as powerful he is, right? Doomsday, he can't take on 20 Kryptonians.
No.
Actually, you know what? Do you reckon, can he even take 5 Kryptonians at this point?
No.
Yeah, exactly. And hundreds of them just murdered him. And I was like,
in the second. You know what I mean? Like, it's just...
It's like, as much as you hated them before, you hate the Kryptonians before, you must hate them so much more now.
Yeah.
They mass ganged, stomped you. So...
Yeah, why would Lex think, like, if Superman by himself managed to, we say kill him, but
Oh yeah, and even if you said even if they say Doomsday has powered up from that point from all his other deaths,
even so, there's like 50 Kryptonians. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly, it's too many.
Yeah, so whatever, I guess. Sure. Yeah.
Oh, there was a storyline. I can't remember exact details of it, right? But Doomsday was the hero of the world or something like that, and he had to give up his intelligence to be stupid, so they could change. They could change the world back to the timeline back to where it was once before.
What?
Yeah.
Explain that.
I can't. I just remember the bits and pieces of it, and I was like, okay, that's one way to get rid of intelligent Doomsday. I'll have to reread this because one of those things where you think about it and then you skipped it and then you're like, wait a minute, I remember that. I remember something weird and wacky.
I can see why you would skip it because that makes no. Okay.
All right. Well.
Sure. Yeah,
when we come back, when we redo the last of the Doomsday trilogy, I'll cover this bit as well.
All right.
Anyways, they just beat the guy to death. I'm like, right, well, so much for that threat.
Yeah.
Shrug.
Until next time, Doomsday, I guess.
Yeah. But what kind of fool would send him there? It is like, are you sending him there to get murdered? Because I don't understand your logic.
There is no logic.
Exactly. Did you? And at some point, John Henry Irons came back from the dead.
Yeah, but for some reason, I keep thinking he came back as like a cyborg. But I think I'm getting him mixed up with when basically War Machine. He became like basically half man, half robot at one point, didn't he?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
It wasn't till I think after like Dark Reign and that he somehow Tony Stark made him a body. I can't remember, something that made little to no sense, but yeah.
Oh, as comics do.
Yeah.
Right. As
and
comics
then he
tend to
dies,
do.
and then he come back alive. But yeah.
So, did you ever read Reign of the Doomsdays? Is it Reign of the Doomsdays? Or I think it's Reign of Doomsday. Sorry, I don't know why it's called the.
When is this?
This is just before. This is after Infinite Crisis and just before Rebirth. New 52 Rebirth.
No, then wait. No, I don't think so.
Okay, so this I'll tell you, and you can tell me whether you actually remember the bits and pieces of it.
Right.
So Doomsday is attacking all the people from the reign of the Superman.
Yeah.
So he's fighting Steel, and for some reason he can turn into Steel. Like what? Okay,
as you do. Yeah.
He's fighting Superboy, and then he's using tactical telekinesis.
Okay.
Even though it's a bit overkill, by the way, to send Doomsday to fight Superboy.
Yeah.
He finds Hank Henshaw in space somewhere. and he starts, and Hank Henshaw is merging with the Justice League Watchtower.
Yeah.
Because there's another storyline going on at the same time, right? He's merging with the Justice League Watchtower to take over, to use the defenses to fight Doomsday, and then Doomsday somehow overtakes them because he can control mechanics now. All right.
Okay.
All leading to where Superman finds them on a spaceship somewhere.
Yeah.
And he rescues all of them, and then they're like, yeah. The Doomsday I was fighting had these abilities, and they're like, "Wait a minute, how can he have these abilities and those abilities?" Right? They encounter one of the the Eradicate got beat up as well.
Okay. Yeah.
And and then I think they kicked one of these Doomsdays came to fight them, even though Supergirl's with them, and they kick him into one of the endless voids of the spaceship. Yeah. And then they get attacked by another Doomsday, and then another. And then it turns out, obviously, those Doomsdays are different Doomsdays that have the abilities of the characters that they were fighting.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the Doomslayer.
Okay.
Turns out these were all clones from Doomsday. Somehow, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Original Doomsday being super emaciated and whatnot. And Superman's like, yeah, we need to what's it called? We need to save him. We need to rescue him. like the rest of the people are like, what? What are you talking about?
Sure.
But I think Superman's more like, if we take him now, they can't replicate his DNA, even though he probably got some of the DNA anyways.
Yeah.
So and then the Doomslayer is like, yeah, I'm just like, I can speak highfalutin like the Beast, right?
Yeah.
And I've got more sturdier armor and everything. Like, it turns out he was one of the Doomsdays the Doomsday that got kicked into the endless void, and he just evolved without dying, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go and shake my fist at you and try to kill all of you guys. Yeah.
Oh.
And then he never appeared again.
Huh.
Yeah.
Until 2 years from now, when someone remembers.
Well, yeah, but at that point it's the New 52, so they decided to wipe all sorts of people out there,
and keep all sorts of people. No reason behind it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So when what's the New 52 first appearance of Doomsday?
If I remember correctly, I want to say it's the Doomsday virus.
Yeah. I was going to say about that. Did you read that storyline, right?
Bits of it, because it confused me.
Okay, give me the lowdown on that, because I was like, these are 15 issues.
Yeah,
I don't know if I
went across most of the Superman books at the time, if I remember correctly.
And Superman, Wonder Woman, right?
Yeah. And people was getting infected by the Doomsday virus, so they all...
this, by the way, this is the New 52, where Superman is not with Lois Lane, he's actually with Wonder Woman, but this is not Superman, this is another Superman.
Yeah, but...
He's not the original timeline Superman.
No, but he had been murdered by Doomsday at some point.
Yes, yeah. By the way, when you finish this, I'm going to ask you questions.
Alright. I think it's some South America country and they start getting affected by the Doomsday virus. So then Superman goes to help, and then he gets infected by the Doomsday virus and starts fighting all the Superman family people. I don't remember how it ended because I think I gave up by that point.
Right. Yeah. Okay. But can you make it up? Can you, from your rough memory of what happened? Because that's probably more hilarious.
That somehow the power of love of Wonder Woman turned Superman back into Superman, and he said, "I forbid you, Doomsday virus," and threw it into the sun.
Yes. Now, I hope you know what, you just made me want to actually read the storyline.
Same. I want to read it. I feel like reading it again myself because I know it's not going to end as awesome as that. But something happens. I'm like, oh, okay. Obviously, something happens. But I can't remember how to get back to point A.
But yes, and then after that, if I remember correctly, is this okay? After that, I believe the next appearance of Doomsday is after Superman dies, right?
I don't know, you know.
Okay, so this is what I believe. Okay, so the final days of Superman happened.
Yeah.
Which Clark, Black Suit Superman, the original timeline. Oh my goodness! All right, Prime Universe Superman, but not Superman Prime because they're different characters.
Yeah.
He's been hiding in the New 52 universe for the past 5 years, even though he retains the pre-New 52 memories.
No, I don't think it's a 5 year because it's. It might be right because he has a kid in in Convergence.
Yeah,
and then something happens. Then he comes to the New 52 universe.
Okay.
But I can't remember. But then Rebirth happens straight afterwards. But
yeah. Which was me really. When I was reading it, I was kind of. I didn't know how much. I mean, I didn't follow it at the time. I was reading it a bit later, but sometimes some things I don't get the logic of.
Yeah.
So at this point, Lois, New 52 Lois, has unveiled Clark's identity as Superman to protect him from being blackmailed or some zaniness like that. Okay. So then, New 52 Superman gains the ability of Supernova.
Yeah.
Which then causes him to have cells that start dying.
Yeah. But before that, he lost his powers.
Yeah.
Well, half his powers, and he was going around riding a motorbike, and he had bits of his cape tapped around his fists because his cape is
more invincible than him.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And then he has to go. You have to use Supernova to fight something that is someone that okay. There's like 3 Supermen in this, but only one of them is. 2 of them are real. One of them is a fake.
Yeah, because I think one of them is the energy let off from his solar flare manifested into a person.
Yeah. And then later on in the storyline, there's a fake Clark Kent.
Yeah, which is
like, what?
Mrs.
Pitlick or
yeah.
something like that, right? Mrs. Pitlick.
Yeah.
But at the time, obviously. Okay, hold on. We've got to do it in a bit of a chronological order there.
Right.
So, Superman and New 52 Superman and Superman Prime, Prime Up Superman are fighting the being that the Supernova possessed version of Superman.
Yeah.
Okay. And because this black suit Prime Superman is like, oh, now's the time, because I don't know why I just was hiding for years.
Yeah.
Oh no, because that came up. The Superman possessed being came after them.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
And then both of them Superman, like the possessed Superman then exploded or whatever he is, and then Superman New 52 is like, I'm dying, actually I'm dead, right?
Yeah.
Batman's like, hey, what are you doing, other Superman? And other Superman's like, nah, I got a beard. Latest.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Okay. And then they jumped into Superman Reborn.
Yeah.
Which I like that they had a fake Clark Kent to separate the identities, even though they then outed Superman again, which whatever, right?
Yeah.
And the mystery of who is Clark Kent, because he can't do stuff, and everyone thinks Clark Kent is Superman, and they think this Superman here is not quite right.
Yeah.
Because everyone at this point still has their New 52 memories.
Yeah, and it's like, and he looks older than the other Superman.
And he's attacking Lex Luthor, who's Iron Man.
Iron Man, like Superman. Yeah. Because then he joins
And then I think when Mrs. Pickles changed reality after becoming Clark Kent, because he's like, oh, I got kidnapped by Mr. Oz, and in order to escape, I had to wipe my own memories.
Yeah. And then I thought you would remember me, Superman, but you don't remember me. This is why
Ooh.
I'm angry. Yeah.
And I tried to wipe your son from your own memories. Only so, as far as I'm concerned, to integrate Prime Superman's backstory into the DC universe and retcon everything without retconning everything.
Yeah.
It all happened, but it all didn't happen.
Yeah.
So Superman was Wonder Woman ever in a relationship with Superman? Well,
the other Superman, but that doesn't exist. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was Superman was recapping his own memories.
Yeah.
And at no point that Superman's memories was he in a relationship with Wonder Woman. However, you could say, okay, but that's his memories, yeah?
Yeah.
But does anyone on this new Earth remember the alternate Superman?
I don't think so. They do.
Yeah. They just basically were like, okay, now this is rebirth memories of everyone.
Because I think the only person who did remember him was Lana Lang, but then she dies as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because she becomes Superman and then Superman dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Oh, yeah. And, so all to lead to this point, by the way, where we're talking about Doomsday. Yeah, they think we had a massive tangent for no reason. Okay. So, Prime Superman, which is like DC Rebirth Superman, would you call it that? Well, anyways, that the
OG Superman.
Yeah, but he's not really the OG Superman because you'd be thinking of the 1930s Superman, right?
I don't.
Okay, yeah.
I don't. But yeah.
Okay. Current continuity Superman, which is slightly out of continuity because he hasn't done the merge yet.
Yeah.
This is where they separate Clark Kent from Superman. Doomsday attacks. Superman's like, but this Doomsday doesn't seem to be from the New 52 universe. So he must be from my time. Even though, what kind of logical conclusions can you jump towards that? Because Doomsday doesn't have enough. How can he give you any clues to exact what version he is?
Yeah.
You know? If it was Bane, maybe he'd say some stuff, yeah? But Doomsday don't say nothing. Doomsday's fighting Iron Man, Lex Luthor, and Superman at the same time. And then Clark's in there as well. And they're like, Clark, you just gotta stop pretending to not being able to do anything and actually start doing something. And then Clark's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't know what you mean.
Yeah, so Doomsday stops fighting Lex and Superman. Superman actually be smart and go, I'm going to start fighting from a distance because I don't need to fight Doomsday hand to hand because that's how he killed me before.
Yeah.
And then for some reason he decides to fight him hand to hand.
Because that's what you do,
And then Lex Luthor, I think, is like, so Superman's like, all right, Lex, as much as I distrust you, because he came here to confront Lex straight up. Lex Luthor, you can't be trusted, even though you're saying you're putting that crest on to honor the memory of Superman. I'm not your Superman. I know all about you shenanigans.
Yeah, because my Lex Luthor is evil, so you must be evil too, even though.
Yeah, and Lex Luthor's like, boy, you don't know me. What are you talking about? Even though nudge, wink, wink, he is.
Yeah.
I don't like the tone of your voice, even though you're correct.
Yep, sir.
So I think there's one bit where Superman says, Lex, right? I'll take care of Doomsday. You clear the hostages or the civilians, whatever, right? And then Luthor goes, nah, I'm taking the glory.
Yeah.
You can rescue them. And then he nearly gets himself killed because his armor just cannot handle Doomsday.
Yeah.
I'm like, Lex, that's classic. You're just too arrogant. First of all, you're just trying to prove Superman wrong, yeah? But you do it in such a way, it's like you endanger yourself and he has to come to save you, and then you hate him even more. But Doomsday separates from the fight for some reason, and Superman and Lex are like, that makes no sense, because he wouldn't cut and run. Where's he going? Right? And they're talking to him, and they're like, oh no, because he's running off to where, like, he's hunting Kryptonians, and the only other Kryptonian on this Earth at this point is Clark's son John.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? Doomsday gonna go and murder an 8-year-old? Okay. We can't have that.
No, but he will.
Yeah, well, Wonder Woman comes and helps them, even though Wonder Woman's like, yeah. I was like, okay, this is gonna be awkward. But no, Wonder Woman and Lois are like, yeah, we're I mean, he was Clark, but he wasn't your Clark, so
He's a Clark. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh gosh.
yeah. And then so Superman's fight. Wonder Woman gets beat up a little bit. Superman says to Wonder Woman, "You can take care of my family. You don't need to help me fight Doomsday. I can do it myself." I'm like, wait a minute, yeah. They're in the Watchtower.
Yeah.
Doomsday can't jump to the Justice League Watchtower. Wonder Woman, just go and help him. And then she gets the pep talk from John Kent to go and help Superman. It's like, no, she should have done that ages ago, actually.
Yeah.
And then they put Doomsday into the Phantom Zone, except that he doesn't go there because Mr. Oz takes him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because if I remember correctly, it's like a Tim Drake where he fights when Tim Drake's dead, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fights. Well, he tries to fight. Well, he doesn't fight Doomsday. He runs away from Doomsday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Doomsday would eat him alive.
Yeah. Yeah. And as much as I don't think there's anything else from Doomsday that I remember of.
No.
Huh.
There isn't. I remember correctly. No, because
yeah.
that's literally all he does.
But yeah, I don't mind the history of him. Like they of the forced evolution. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
As an origin, I thought, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I do like how they also keep consistent to that in multiple versions of Doomsday. Like the Smallville version, the version in Krypton, the version in Batman vs Superman, the version in the animated movies.
Yeah.
Even though there's slight tweaks to exactly who he is and what he is, his backstory is roughly the same.
Yeah. Except for the version of him in the Justice League Unlimited. Well, Justice League / Justice League Unlimited. Actually, the DC animated universe, the original one. Their version of Doomsday is slightly different.
Which one was that?
So basically, you first see there's an episode called For a Better Tomorrow.
Oh, is that the one? Go on, sorry, yep.
And that's the one where it starts with Superman killing Lex Luthor and becoming evil and making the Justice Lords.
Yeah.
Then they devise a plan to come to the alternate Earth, which is the main Earth of the Justice League that we watch.
Yeah.
And so basically they trick the Justice League to come over to their Earth, they kidnap them, then they go to the Justice League's Earth, and for some reason Doomsday's just there destroying everything. So Superman fights Doomsday and he's like, I've had enough of this, and just lobotomizes Doomsday. And this Doomsday's really chatty and stuff. You're like, this is weird. Okay. Nothing of it, and then
I saw the clip, by the way, and I was like, but Superman's got heat vision and he's always using it against Doomsday. So how did he just basically blast through bone, through the skin, and somehow burn his brain out? It's like, wait a minute,
No, they explain it.
Oh, go on.
Yeah. So basically, so he lobotomizes him. Then Cadmus takes him. Doomsday.
Yeah.
You don't see Doomsday for like 2 seasons. And then Cadmus have a beef with Justice League and stuff. So they try to make Doomsday hate Superman, right?
Yeah. This is after, by the way, he got his brains.
So
okay,
they torture him with like videos of Superman just beating him and stuff like that. So he goes a bit nutty, and then they fire this guy who's looking after Doomsday. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna make Doomsday kill everyone in Cadmus, but Doomsday's like, nope, I'm not gonna do that. I'm doing my own thing. So he kills that guy and goes straight for Superman.
Yeah.
Who's helping evacuate this South American island that's a volcano's happening.
Yeah.
So they fight, and Superman's trying to say to Doomsday, "Yeah, dude, I'm not the Superman that did this to you and everything." And he's like, "I don't care. You already yes, so I'm gonna kill you." Because this Doomsday can talk as well, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then Superman's like, "Okay, last resort, I'm gonna have to do what the Justice Lord Superman did." So he went to try and lobotomize Doomsday. He goes, "That's not gonna work on me twice." He's like, "Oh,
Okay.
see, evolution." Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, so that happens. And then him and Superman are fighting on this island where it's melting, basically. And Batman goes to Cadmus and says, "I know what you did. This is something to do with you." And they're like, "Well, there will be no proof of it because we're sending a nuke to the island. So it'll obliterate everything on the island. And we're pretty sure, we hope Doomsday won't survive it for evidence." So then Batman rushes from the watchtower, uses one of the javelins to magnetically attach to the nuke that's coming to the island, and he attaches the ship to the nuke, misses the island, and he ejects, and the plane fly off and explodes somewhere else. So Batman becomes like in a whole body cast of that because he basically nearly died. And then Superman's like, so they Doomsday is about to kill Superman, but no, sorry, Superman beats Doomsday, and he's about to die, but Wonder Woman saves him from the island getting melted by the lava. So then Doomsday is encased in magma, and the Justice League are like, "Yeah, you're too dangerous to be left alone." And Doomsday goes, "Well, even if I get out of this thing, I'm gonna kill you anyway." So they're like, "Well, where you're going, you won't be able to kill anyone," and they send him to the Phantom Zone.
Okay.
Yeah, and then this is where a rift between Batman and Superman happens. He goes, "Oh, you sent him to the Phantom Zone," and Superman's like, "Well, we don't really have a choice." He goes, "Oh, spoken just like a true Justice Lord," and Superman's like, "Hey, you can't call me that." Goes, "Nah, Bruce, I took no, Clark, I took a bullet for you today." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You'll find out." And then this is where they plant scenes that Batman might be going towards joining Cadmus, because, Cadmus are scared that our Justice League is going to turn out like their Justice League and enslave the world. And because they have no powers, so they're trying to build things to do it. But yeah, if you can watch that cartoon, it's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Doomsday in that, so it was cool.
Okay. Have you seen Superman Doomsday, the animated film? That animated film.
Yeah, didn't like it.
Yeah, it was because it was just everything compressed into 75 minutes.
Yeah.
Which I had to fast forward a lot of things because Clark had to reveal that he was Clark hadn't revealed that he was Superman to Lois yet.
No.
Then he had to fight Doomsday. Then he had to fight, get killed. Then he get rebirthed, and then had to fight a clone version of himself.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't great.
And then at the end of the movie, reveal that he's Superman to Lois.
Yeah. You're like, oh, okay.
All right. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great because they're just like, let's just skip everything.
Yeah, skip everything.
Everything.
And substitute other characters for one character. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember the Doomsday in Smallville?
Yeah, I liked it, but it was a bit long-winded. But yeah. Yeah,
because a whole season. Well, first of all, how long does a Doomsday storyline need to go on for?
Not 26 episodes, I'll tell you that.
No, 22, 26, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be going that long.
No.
And then how often was he in those episodes as actual Doomsday, not Davis Bloom?
4 times.
Very minimal.
Yeah.
But it built a lot to him, right?
Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
Yeah. And then what was his origin here? It was the son of General Zod or something like that, right?
Something like that,
The creation of General Zod and Fiora.
Yeah, and he was genetically modified or something like that.
Yeah.
Something convoluted, yeah.
What did you think of the look of Doomsday here?
I liked when less was better, when you just saw him in the shadows and stuff like that. I didn't mind that. I was like, that's cool. All right.
Yeah, well, you know what? When you see the costume in the daylight, it Like, 'cause they've done a photo shoot with it on a white background. Like, oh man,
Yeah.
it does look like it's an actor in a suit, but it looks like rubber. It looks rubber suit.
Yeah.
Like it's more menacing during the day. During the night.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look as great during the day, even
Yeah.
though they got it pretty accurate as far as the look.
Yeah.
I think they, there's something a bit too rubber about it.
Yeah. And I thought that was going to happen. When I first saw it, I was like, yeah, in a few years, this isn't going to age well. And seeing it recently, I was like, yeah, nope, that did not age well at all. No.
Yeah, and how they got rid of him, by the way, where they finished the Doomsday storyline, where Clark, they had a little fight, Clark decided to spear him into the sky, and then throw him into a plantation of some sort. And then next thing you see is Clark at Jimmy Olsen's funeral.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute. What happened to Doomsday? If Clark can get out of there, why can't Doomsday get out of there? What's going on?
Yeah.
Anyways.
I tend to forget this. Yeah.
Yeah. The other live... sorry. There's 3 more live action versions of Doomsday that we've got to go through. Now, we haven't seen Krypton yet, but we've seen clips of Krypton.
Yeah.
What do you think of the backstory is roughly the same, by the way. There's a Kryptonian, he's volunteered for mutation and whatever for the Kryptonian War.
Yeah.
And to be endlessly regenerated.
Yeah.
But we're not going to go into that because we're going to watch Krypton.
Yeah.
At some point.
Opinion. Yeah.
But what do you think of the look of the character?
It didn't look too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a suit?
I don't know, because I was thinking, that CGI was a suit.
Yeah.
Because it looked like decent TV CGI.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's like, I'm not sure they could probably afford to make a suit, but they probably can't afford to make that level of CG constantly.
Yeah.
Because remember, you know what King Shark and Gorilla Grodd they end up looking like on The Flash.
Yeah.
Not terrible, but just not enough time to render properly.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's probably a dude in a suit with CG enhancements, maybe.
Yeah.
Because you can clean up things with that. And that doesn't take as much time as actually creating from scratch.
Yeah. So you're probably right with that,
yeah. Even though I could be wrong, but I think they actually had the look of the Doomsday looked much better than the Smallville Doomsday. To be fair, it was like over 10 years later, though. Yeah. Do you want? Okay. And then we'll go to the final TV version of Doomsday from Superman and Lois.
Yeah. Possibly my favorite version, Doomsday, out of that live action one, if I'm honest.
Because of the backstory.
Yeah, and just how he was.
Right. So initially, when Bizarro came in season 2, he was dressed up in the gear that Doomsday was when he came out of the Earth. So everyone assumed it was Doomsday.
Yeah. But no.
But it was Bizarro. Plot twist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out Bizarro is Doomsday. So double plot twist.
Yeah. See, it came back full circle. Yeah.
I did like the logic of what they did with the Bizarro into Doomsday thing.
Yeah.
Right? I could get behind that.
Yeah, same. I was like, that's an interesting way of doing it. It makes sense.
Yeah. But then when he mutated into how massive was his arm length, right? Was the length of Superman himself.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I guess, well.
I don't think I like the execution of it. I didn't think that he needed to be that large.
Yeah.
And the thing is that because he had normal proportions before, his head looked way smaller.
But isn't Doomsday head meant to look smaller?
Well, I don't know if that's an optical illusion to make the rest of his body look bigger, but I will say this version definitely had that, and his head looked well smaller on a really big body.
Yeah. But I just think that was weird CGI. But yeah.
I think as well because not that CGI was terrible or anything, because it wasn't.
No,
what it was it had a video game kind of sheen to it.
Yeah.
But you play enough video games, you're like, this is the look of it.
Yeah.
Even when you had the live action stuff in it. So, but yeah, we'll see how the rest of that fight goes. But they're fighting on the moon and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
Hey.
Can't wait.
And then he decides to pull out some of his own spikes. Like, I'm going to cause myself pain to cause you pain.
But he doesn't feel pain.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he feels pain. I can't remember.
Well, after getting murdered hundreds of thousands of
Hundreds
times.
yeah. Not the most, like, nicest ways either, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was so great.
Yeah. And then Doomsday from the Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's because this guy, he's gonna send me to
The worst of all of them.
Yeah. I didn't like this. I yeah. I get the logic of Doomsday being a monster, blah blah blah. I didn't mind the backstory of what they used General Zod to create Doomsday.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was just so massively oversized. Now, do you prefer your Doomsday to be a massive over the large monster type, or do you prefer him to be decently proportional to human size, just bigger?
Yeah, just bigger, not like a. All right, he should look like, say, if he's like a Hulk looking, yeah, I'm fine with that. That size, yeah, because Hulk's like in the comics, like say, but in the movie, so about 8 foot, whatever.
Yeah,
8 foot, 9 foot, whatever. Sure.
Yeah, Superman's got to be able to fight him.
Yeah,
and Superman's normal sized person.
But then when you got him the size
Superman's
of
larger than normal size, but anyways.
But like when you got him the size of some like an ogre or something from Lord of the Rings, it doesn't really work. Yeah.
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 Exactly. There was some okay. Now I don't know if this would have. I think actually the logic of this would have been better for the Batman vs Superman story, but. Someone said it's that people, theories on the internet and stuff like that, right? They were like, the logic of why Batman hates the Superman is that you could have foreshadowed the resurrection of General Zod.
Yeah.
By what Lex Luthor was doing, and you have someone going around wearing the S, doing all stuff like not terrible stuff, as in Luthor brought General Zod's body back from the dead as Bizarro. Okay?
Yeah.
And then you could have the reason for why Batman hates Superman, because there is someone like a Kryptonian entity wearing the reverse S or whatever it is, going about doing that stuff. It'd be like, okay, we've got to find out who this other one is. Or or if it is indeed Superman or whatever, right? The mystery of it. And then you could have evolved it like the movie. Like the TV series where the reanimated corpse of General Zod that's become Bizarro evolves into a Doomsday.
That sounds a bit too much.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it's a bit. Okay, first of all, Batman vs Superman. You know how long that movie is?
Yeah, no. I mean, like from using General Zod to make him into Bizarro to make him into Doomsday.
Yeah. You mean that the logic jumps? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, this is the same movie where. The Kryptonian AI in the mothership, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Lex Luthor went over there, and they basically and he said, "All right, well, I'm going to merge the DNA with my DNA," and then the Kryptonian ship's like, "Nah, because you're going to create abomination. It's the Council of Krypton said it's forbidden."
Yeah.
And then Lex Luthor's like, "Where are the Council of Krypton?" And then the computer's brain basically explodes from the logic.
Yeah,
he's like,
wait, what? No,
yeah, they're dead. So, yeah,
maybe he's right. Yeah.
Okay, is it that simple to bypass Kryptonian AI?
Yeah.
So I'll just go to the Kryptonian mothership and go, yeah, can I have this, that, and the other, and then say, well, those Kryptonians are dead, so you got to give me access because no one says you can't give me access.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, you got me there.
Yeah.
Your logic is sound. But, yeah. Because it's just a terrible. I want to say I get it, but I don't.
Yeah. Then I think that the only other Doomsday we have to cover is Doomsday from the DC animated movie, the new animated. What was that universe called?
The dceu.
No, isn't the DCAU the actual animated universe with Batman and series?
Wait, you're right. I think it's called the Oh, wait.
The repoint, the Flashpoint
Yeah, but
the Flashpoint, the DC animated Flashpoint universe.
there's actual name. Oh,
Oh, okay.
wait a second.
But yeah, so Doomsday here being exactly what he was created to do the very first time around, just whooping the Justice League and making them more like look like jabronis.
Yeah.
All right, you know. I mean, to be fair, when you got a Doomsday storyline, what else are you gonna do?
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't hate on a character doing exactly what they were intended to do, and even if within that they make other characters look stupid. Not stupid, but you know, they
Yeah.
Doomsday's there to cement Superman as number one.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. You know.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what is that all Doomsday's covered.
Yeah,
I think
because he doesn't really do much. Literally, all he does in the animated movie ones. It's called the DCAMU. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, because all he comes is in the Death of Superman.
Yeah.
Where he kills Superman. And then he returns in the Return of Superman, kind of. They're about to come, but then they get stopped by them closing the wormhole. And then you got the Parademon / Doomsday hybrids that
Oh my goodness!
kill everyone.
Except the people that they can't kill.
Yeah, in these, what's it called? Justice League Apocalypse?
Yeah. Was it? Oh yeah.
Was it Justice League Dark Apocalypse? Whatever. Anyway, and they just murder everyone, and it's a bloodbath, and it's very gross. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and then that's it. Really?
I was like, Darkseid finally saying, you know what? If I can't have your universe, if I can't have your Earth, you can't have your Earth.
Yeah. And it's so messed up. That's it. Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. That's it. Yeah, and it's just super depressing.
Yeah, because then Flash has to go back and rewrite the universe again.
Yeah. And then we got the future universe.
The Tomorrowverse, right?
Yep.
Which I haven't watched any of at the moment.
Which is pretty good so far. I've seen...
I'm curious for... Oh, sorry, you say?
I think I've seen 4 of them, because there's about 5 or 6 of them right now. But yeah.
I'm curious to see Crisis on Infinite Earths, and that's probably what will make me watch the... I'm not saying they're bad or anything, I just didn't watch them. I hadn't piqued my curiosity at that point.
Yeah, pretty.
However, are you when you say there's 4 of them, are you counting Long Halloween as 2 different parts?
Yeah, even though I've only watched the last part by accident.
Okay.
Because I watched, for some reason, I just clicked on it because I've got them both. And I didn't bother read part 1 and part 2. So I started watching the second part. I was like, this is weird. They're referencing stuff that, when did they reference? When did this happen? And I went to the end, I was like, oh, wait. Oh, I've watched it in the wrong order. I'm not going back to watch the first part. So yeah.
Right.
I can't be bothered. But yeah, they're all good except for I still need to see. So I watched the Green Lantern one recently, and I like that one.
Wait, the Green Lantern one? What was that?
Green Lantern, Beware My Power.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize. I thought you meant when you said the Tomorrowverse, when Superman.
Yeah, the Superman, Man of Tomorrow, Justice Society, World War II, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Long Halloween 1 and 2. Green Lantern, Beware My Power, Legion Superheroes, and Warworld.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you got, like you said, Infinite Crisis.
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, that's the one.
The other one.
Yeah.
The other Crisis. But rounding that back, what was so our boy Doomsday, well, I wouldn't say our boy Doomsday, but Doomsday, right?
Yep.
What, as a character, what do you think of him? Has your opinion of him changed from the point where he first made an appearance to now?
I tend to forget he's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, oh yeah, he killed Superman, and what else did he really do after that? Oh, nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Not to hate on the character, but he's just like, well, he's got no brain, so you can't give him personality.
No.
So what can you do? You know,
nothing. And then, yeah, it's a bit.
Yeah, and I will say, I will say this is what it is, right? But you're not gonna agree with me because I know already.
All right.
Doomsday is like Jason Voorhees, yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say it's the equivalent, but it's not the same. That Bane is like Freddy.
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't see it. I know because I know you didn't see it because you're not a fan of it, right? But they did a as one of the press conference stuff like that.
Yeah.
They did a weigh-in.
Yeah.
So they weighed Freddy and they weighed Jason, and then Freddy's all talking trash as it's going along, but Jason can't really do much because he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
So when they were doing the interviews, right, behind the behind the scenes or whatever it is, and they talked about like about starring their movies finally together. Freddy's doing all the talking and Jason's just looking,
just standing there.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
You look like a killer, but you can't really do much when it comes to these different sort of sections of the promos.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes or whatever it is. Yeah. So Doomsday. Yeah, yeah. He's fine for what he is, right? But I think for each, and I think they did get. He was kind of impressive in his first couple of go-rounds because they had to be like, okay, how are we going to do this? Yeah.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, they were like, I don't know. I don't want to say they got lazy because that's not the question. Yeah, they got difficult to write how we're going to do stuff.
Yeah. They ripped themselves into a corner with Doomsday. As soon as they made him, really, they kind of ripped himself into the corner.
Well,
unless it's going to be like a one-off, like he kills Superman, that's it, boom. But
yeah, yeah. Because the problem is he did several things at once, and he just peaked it all the time, and there was no coming back from that.
Yeah.
Would you like to see more of Doomsday? Oh, okay. Would you like to see more of Doomsday, or would you like to see him do more things with Doomsday, or would you think the stuff they've done with him actually is quite inventive?
I would. Be honest, I wouldn't care if I don't see Doomsday ever again.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because it's like, unless you, anytime okay, you bring back Doomsday, if they reboot stuff and then just, but at this point, what can you do with him? You know.
Yeah. I think every so often, but then you've got to have a strong reason to bring him back.
Yeah, but
it's not like, for example, where people keep on spamming the use of the Joker.
Yeah,
the Joker can lose, get his heat back by murdering a whole bunch of primary school kids. Yeah, because he's the Joker, and then go off to do something else. You know, a bit like also, no one also been behind everything, but I think that myself, waters him down because he keeps on losing. You know, and he can't get to the levels of the Joker where he starts doing super crazy stuff.
Yeah,
because they won't allow you to get away with that.
But I'm even in the same camp the Joker. Like, if I wasn't to see the Joker again, I'll be more than happy.
Yeah, I think they've got to tone down the usage of him.
Yeah, it's just Joker. Yeah, we get it. He's insane. Cool.
Exactly.
Give me something to work with.
Yeah, I mean, like when they do Bane, at least there's been rehabilitation of Bane going on. I will say that he's been doing stuff and he can be in a big storyline that lasts a while. I mean, like this Bane storyline lasts over 50 issues. Yeah.
And even with Bane, like you kind of like you can go different routes with Bane. Like even if you want to, you can turn him to a good guy. Stuff like, you know what I mean? There's lots of stuff there. But with like Bane, like with Joker and Doomsday, what can you do really?
Yeah, exactly. At least you could say Joker's got charisma. Yeah. To do stuff. Okay.
Yeah. But hey, what do I know?
Yeah, Doomsday is Brock Lesnar when Brock Lesnar was with Paul Heyman back in the day,
Yeah.
in the early SmackDown years.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Where Paul Heyman had to do all the talking, and Brock was silent.
Yeah.
And you can only do so much.
So much, yeah. But hey, you know, it is what it is.
I suppose that wraps us up for this episode.
Yes, on the
where
Doomsday.
I think this is like an honest opinion of the character of Doomsday, because we weren't slating him, we were just calling out what was going on.
Yeah.
And whether we liked it. Because when we've been blazing Batman, when we've been blazing Charles Xavier, you know.
Yeah. This is just an honest critique on the character and our feelings toward it. So yeah, that's us talking about Bane. I mean, not Bane. Doomsday. They are the same person, basically. Doomsday, whose real name is General Zod, depending on what continuity, whatever, you know.
Yeah. He could be Clark. He could be General Zod. He could be nameless
Unnamed
Kryptonian baby
number
X.
4. Yeah.
Dennis Bloom also, you know.
Yeah. Oh, creativity. And yes, thank you for listening. Let's talk about Doomsday and his many different flaws and great stuffs about him, which isn't much. And were you a fan of Doomsday? Did he upset you when he killed Superman back in '93, or are you too young to remember? Or the latter? I don't know.
Or did he upset you when he killed Superman multiple different times in multiple different continuities?
Yeah. Or when he...
Did you cry when Doomsday killed Superman in Batman vs Superman? Because I certainly didn't. I was already?
No, like, you've already announced Justice League, so I know Superman's coming back. But,
yeah.
that was my thing. I was like, oh, okay. He's only had one film of his own, and you want me to care about when he dies? All right, sure.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yes, let us know by leaving a comment or leaving us a message on Instagram and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our podcast feeds, give us a 5-star review, give this video a thumbs up, and all that lovely jubbly stuff. And keep an eye on our YouTube channel because we've got stuff going on there, and our Instagram page as well. But anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you all once again. Take a trip with us around... Actually, wait. No. I have been... There we go. I forgot about that bit. A little sign off, isn't it? I have been the man who also was a ambulance driver, but then would drink the blood of his patients because...
Also, you killed... fake Henry James Olsen, not Jimmy Olsen, while he was getting married to Chloe Sullivan, and you kidnapped her.
Yeah.
And kept her in your basement.
Which, you know, makes sense.
Yeah.
And who have you been?
I've been the man who got sent to the start of creation to get exploded, but got saved by a man who by a robotic entity that wanted to possess my body, and then to possess the body of a child. C.Y. Chung.
Oh, that sounds right. And yes, and I'd like to thank you all for taking a trip with us around Multiverse. Bye.
Bye. Boo.